Let's hit the ground
Yeah, let's hit the
running.
ground running. Hi, everybody. How are you all doing today? Good morning and afternoon or evening, depending on where you are
Oh, good
watching us
day.
from, where you're going to be watching. If you have to
Yeah.
watch the replay, all right. We have another interesting topic today, and we're going to talk about. I'll bring that topic later. My name is Dorothy. I'm mother of a set of beautiful twins, and I'm from Ghana. I always forget to say that. I'm from Ghana. Yeah. I'm from
Ghana be.
Ghana. Yeah, Ghana girl, Ghana baby. I'm from Ghana, and I used to work in the healthcare industry, but I have retired myself. So today we're going to talk about something interesting in reference to that. So let's go ahead. Let's introduce ourselves, and then we'll go on with our wonderful topic. I'm sure you'll
Yes.
be interested. So get your pens and notepads ready, and remember to share, as Pat will say. Go on,
Yeah.
Patty.
Good day, everyone. My name is Pat, the face behind Pat Sayensu Digital Business. I'm a mom of one based in Texas, originally from Ghana, West Africa, an IT professional and a digital business owner. It's a pleasure to have you guys here.
It's wonderful to be here. Go on, Mr. Winnie.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Warnie. I'm a New Yorker with a nursing background, also a digital business owner.
Yes,
It's good to
sir.
be here with you guys again for another Go Live.
Yes. All right, let's roll, people. Today, our topic is it's called
Drum,
the Fire Movement.
drum roll.
Let it roll. It's called the Fire Movement. And basically, it means retire early. You know, some people want to retire early. And how do we go about that?
Yeah.
How do we go about retiring early? You don't just get up and say, "Oh, I want to retire at 25," or "I want to retire at 34." What
And you just
preparations will you put in place, or have you put in place? You know, some people may be forced to retire early due to certain maybe issues. It could be an illness, it could be surgery, it could be whatever it is.
yeah.
You know, it could be an emergency, a family emergency. But if you want to retire early, or if you plan to retire early, there are certain things you have to put in place because we all know the cost of living is high. And depending on your lifestyle, you have
Mhm.
to choose what you want. If you want to live a lifestyle that you love, some people love to travel, love to eat out, love to maybe just sit down doing practically nothing, maybe reading a book, crossing their legs, and drinking a cup of coffee. That's what they would like to do whilst they're in retirement. It needs some amount of money to maintain that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah.
So you have to prepare your mind first and prepare your pocket or your bank account and prepare yourself. Even your environment, you need to prepare it. So that's what we're going to talk about today, as I said. And as I said, what? Fire movement, or fire means financial independence, retire early. That's basically what it means. And
Mhm.
more women are retiring early. The men, they want to work. Let them work. We will retire early and wait for them. So, I mean, that's my thoughts. So, we are going to find out how we can put some of these things in place and help ourselves, not just the women, the men too, because some of them need to retire early
They
so
need it.
they can take care of themselves and have fun. What is life without fun? Look, let's go. Whoever wants to go.
Yeah, sure, I'll go. If I was when we decided to go with the topic, I was like, most of us sit down and wonder if this is really what the next 20, 30, even
Mm,
40 years of our lives will look like. The same routine, the same stress, the
mm,
same paycheck that never seems to, stretch as far as your dreams. So if you've ever felt that, tug in your spirit, that whisper that says life is meant to be more than this, then it's time to talk about something powerful, which is the FIRE movement, right?
mm-hmm,
FIRE isn't just about quitting your job one day. It's about reclaiming your life. It's
mm,
about choosing freedom over fear, purpose over pressure, and building a future where your money works harder than you do. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Your money has to work harder than you do. You don't need a six-figure salary. You don't need to be born into wealth. You don't need a rich spouse, rich parents, or rich connections. What you do need is discipline. intentional choices, right? A way to build cash flowing income, a plan that frees you from trading time for money, right? And this is where digital business becomes powerful, because FIRE used to be limited to extreme savers, investors, or people in high paying careers. But today, regular people, single moms, nurses, teachers, truck drivers, Uber drivers, you name it, 9 to 5 workers, immigrants, professionals are achieving FIRE because they created online income that multiplies, right? They built skills and businesses that break the paycheck to paycheck cycle. I mean, sometimes when I see people's what they are making in our community, and I'm like, whoa, that's somebody's 5 year salary. Somebody's just walking into a bank and depositing it in one day. For many people, FIRE isn't about quitting work. It's about quitting the work that drains your soul and choosing work that builds your future. Because everyone is tired of job insecurity, layoffs, inflation, burnout,
Oh,
missing family moments, feeling stuck, working hard and having little to show for it. Look at
and
what
no
just happened.
promotion.
Yeah, look at what just happened in the US, the shutdown,
Mm.
right? People are waking up and realizing freedom isn't given,
Nope.
freedom is built. And the FIRE movement, it gives you a roadmap. So, guys, look, do your research on this FIRE movement. That's what you need to do. Do your research and decide what you want for your life. Imagine waking up, without rushing. Imagine working because you want to, not because you have to.
Mm.
Imagine money growing behind the scenes. Imagine being present for your children, really present. Imagine choosing travel over overtime.
Mm.
Imagine choosing peace over pressure. The pressure is too much. The pressure is killing people. And what you need is peace. Imagine knowing you are building a legacy, not just for your children, but for yourself. That's what the FIRE movement is all about. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, Pat. That's true. Look, because if you understand what it is, then you can prepare. So you
Yeah.
will ask yourself, why retire early? Because you want your freedom.
You want
You
your
want,
freedom.
as you said, you want less stress.
Yeah.
And you want more purpose and a legacy.
Yes.
We need to leave a legacy for our children, for our children's children. So let's go ahead, Mr. Winnie. It's your turn. You're on mute. Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely. Like we say to everyone, do your research on this. But I definitely came across this idea of just being financially independent and retiring early, like during COVID. That
Mm,
was just, a time where there was a lot of uncertainty with the economy,
Yeah.
and just so much things going on, that people started considering different ways of essentially earning income, different ways of
Mhm. Mhm.
um, basically providing for themselves financially other than a job. And so we talk about in our Go Lives about an online business, and that's one way of doing it.
mhm,
Um, through the people that I learned this from, which was a couple that was able to retire
Mhm.
early, within like 10 years or so, they really like broke it down in a way that I was like, oh, this is attainable. This is something that's doable if
possible.
you have a strategic financial plan. And so one of the things that comes up with this FIRE movement is everyone having a number for where they feel they will be comfortable to retire at. Like, so for example, you would calculate this number by just multiplying, what you would think is a good amount of money you can live by year to year. So for some people, especially people who are very frugal, people who are very much like living below their means, they could say, for example, I could live off 50K a year, right? And so they would just take this 50K number and multiply it by like 25. And
Mhm.
it would give them like a number. For example, when I did the math on my calculator, this number is $1.25 million.
Mm.
But
Wow.
in this people's mind, like they're saying, I can live off, comfortably, because I live below my means, and I'm planning to make investments that will help me to retire early. 50K is more than enough money for me to live off of peaceably, comfortably, to do traveling, to do whatever.
Yeah.
So in their mind, $1.25 million is their number. Now, for them to get to this number, you have to do the uncommon thing, which is what's recommended. Extreme high savings rate.
Mm-hmm.
I know, for example, that the couple that I watched that through
Mm.
this FIRE movement that I was able to learn from them, they were saving like about 70% of their income, living below their means, and then taking the available income to make, for example, investments in the stock market, for example, or real estate. But their idea was, we're going to do this for, you know, X amount of years and invest most of our capital in things and assets that would pay us back, 10 years down the line, so to speak. And so one of the things we just want you guys to kind of consider is that if you learn to live below your means, for example, learn to increase your savings rate, and then learn to make smart investments, whether it's real
Smart
estate,
investments. Yeah.
whether it's stock market, whether it's an online business such as this. You can have a 10-year plan, you can have a 15-year plan. Where working is optional for you, and it's not something that is full time, and it's not something that's going to take away from your time, and most importantly, from your physical and mental health. So, yeah, coming through their story and just seeing how very disciplined they were with their plan, and obviously making it adaptable for their family and their kids, showed me, like, even for someone like myself, a young person like myself, or for anyone who's at any point in stage of their life, you have a plan, if you have a vision, and you write it down and you take it step by step, breaking it down to small goals each and every day, it eventually compounds and builds to something 5-10 years down the line, where you can look back and say, wow, like, I see progress, I see a real change, I see a real commitment to myself, most importantly, to get my time back. Because ultimately, that's what we're really focusing on. How can we grow our income? How can we grow our investments?
Yeah.
To get our time back, so that way we can spend more time with our family, spend more time with our hobbies, things that really matter to us, things that really give us fulfillment in life, in a way that's not taken away from our overall goals and our health. So, with this FIRE movement, I would just recommend to anyone who's interested in looking to it, finding that number for yourself, like where you feel like this is the X amount of money I can live off year to year. And then when you can take that number, whether it's $50,000, for some people maybe $75,000, multiply it by 25 to see what it would take for your investments and all financial strategies, or what that number would be for that in particular. And so that's why Pat was talking about some of the things that people are doing with just online business and how that's exceeding their job incomes down the line. These are all examples of what we can do. And so I think it's doable for each and every person. It's just it takes discipline, and then it takes a commitment to not just yourself, but to the plan. But it's not impossible, and that's what we all go live. Just opportunity to do something different than the norm.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like people have the power to change their entire life, starting like this very second, right? You don't have to wait to retire at 65. You don't have to live stressed. You don't have to settle. You do not have to settle. And you can build your own fire. You can do whatever you put your mind to. It's all about mindset. It's all about mindset. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you need to sit down to calculate.
Yeah.
You should know the numbers. You should put something down, something substantial down, and have an idea, at least have an idea of what is going to take, what it entails, and what it's going to cost. Because if you don't do that, I don't know, you're not going to be able to succeed, or won't be able to, how do I put it, live the life that you want. When you retire, you don't want to retire and then be stressing and thinking about going back to get maybe another job or something. No. So what would be the reason for retiring? Some people retire because of, I said, health purposes, because they need to they need their time freedom, they need to leave a legacy, but you have to be intentional about it.
You have to.
When you said, you have to be intentional, because if you're not intentional, you won't be able to be creative. You won't be able to sit down and analyze certain things because you need to program something in your mind, as you said. In your mind, it all starts in the mind. Maybe I want to what? I want to invest in something, a project. How do I go about it? You need goals. You need to write things down so you
Yeah.
can visualize it. Some people uh, visualize things and it gets into their heads better. And some people can just maybe write it down. Some people can put what have your vision board where they can see it every day. Everybody is different. Some people can just put it in their minds. Okay, this and this and that. But everybody is different. But all the same, you need to have an idea of what you want and when you want to retire. You can't just get up and say, "Oh, I'm retiring at maybe age 40, age 50." What are you going to eat? Have you thought about that? How are you going to feed yourself? How are you
Yeah.
going to pay your bills, your rent? Because that's what the bills they keep coming. I always
They
say
keep coming.
the bills are automated. So today we have an opportunity for you, a chance for you to maybe if you want to retire or you're planning to retire. I know some nurses want to retire. I'm saying this because I used to be a nurse. Some nurses want to retire, but they don't know how or they don't know what is going to happen to them. Probably you don't have any pension, you don't have any 401k, you don't have any what? You don't have enough of what? Social security. So you have to start something on the side for yourself. And this is a great opportunity. Come, join us. All you have to do is to sign up with your name and your email address. We have our webinar tonight. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. All you have to do, I said, our websites are right up there. Sign up with your name and email, and that's all you need to do. Come and listen. Listen to watch the webinar, listen to whatever is being said, take some notes, and then make an informed decision. Go ahead, pay your 149. Because look, $149. Next week is what? Thanksgiving. $149. I bet if you decide to use that money for your Thanksgiving dinner, it's not going to be enough. That is the truth. It will not be enough. Invest in something for the future. Look, give yourself a Thanksgiving gift or even a pre-Christmas gift. Yes, give yourself a pre-Christmas gift. I'm looking for the thing to post on there. A pre-Christmas gift, $149. It's refundable within 30 days. Do it and find out what information you can get and how you can start this online business to
Yeah.
earn something on the side and prepare for your retirement. Look, everyone will have to retire someday.
Someday,
Earlier you start planning for it,
the
the
better.
better. And this is a great opportunity. Come on,
Yeah.
start this online business on the side and see how far it's going to take you. And you'll be surprised that maybe you decide you wanted to what retire at age 50, but for starting this or because you started this business, you reduce it by probably 5 or 6 years. And that's an advantage because that 5 or 6 years, you could be swimming somewhere in the ocean and relaxing on, on some beach. So
Yeah.
come on, let's see you on the inside today. It's at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss it. Again, our websites are right up there. Sign up with your name and your email, and then we'll talk to you. You can also send us a DM and share the link. Please share the
Share,
link.
share, share.
So, yeah,
Sharing is caring.
sharing is caring. That's true. So thank you so much for watching. And those who are going to watch the replay. Thank you. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Guys.
And enjoy yourselves. Have fun. Don't stress yourself, please.
Yep.
Bye for now.
Bye.